whenever I go in and try to filter it down, it's still not many leads that comes in. If you're not able to find that much intent data, I at least need to have access to a homeowners database. At least if it's not intent, I need to at least just have homeowners. Now, what I've found is that last time I tried to go and download homeowners leads, I went over to, well, let's finish with the security high intent since you're in that one first.
I did see it. So there's one specifically for Louisiana. Let me assign that to you. Yeah, so there's 19,657 in this. And then once you actually get the domain like white label, then you can actually see when like the database is ready. But all right, let me get that turned on real quick for you. We're making a notification system because it was in there. And then when you actually do get the white label domain on, all those databases appear under.
Okay, so we have to do the white label to see those domains. Wisdom was asking about that too. See, we were in that last meeting on Wednesday, and he wanted to know how we could search up the different databases. So there was a way you were looking through the different databases that were available. And he's like, well, how do we get to that? And I'm like, well, I don't know. He's like, make sure you ask that question.
As you've used the system, it's you buy a database that's already selected. So we've been slowly transitioning it over. And then the very near future, when someone wants to buy a database from you, your white label will be this. So all the data you're subscribed to will already be visible. But yeah, basically right now, if it's something that you're thinking of, like you'll say, but security, right? We'll say, because this is the combination of right that make up the home security. We're not looking for biometric time clocks at Windows when you type in security, but there it is, Ring doorbell. So when they're home security, there's people looking up home security, there's people looking up Ring, there's people looking up Arlo, Google Nest, and those are like the four. So you'd be able to pick from these or give us a combination of these to make that database in the very near future. But let me get this. Yeah, it doesn't cost anything. In order just to access the system on that side, yes, and it's white label. All you need to do is put a domain in and hit white label. You don't have to build the website out.
Can we use a landing page from my website as the domain?
Really, the only thing you need to do is just get the domain thing. And there is a website tied to it that you can build out. You don't have to. What some people do is they use their existing website. Like this is a white label in our website, but then they also have a regular website. They just added the button here. So when you want to log in, it just brings them to the login page here. So they're not sending people to the actual home page on their AvocaData. They're just putting the button like here, but on their own, basically replacing the button here, but putting it on their website. So when you click the button, it's not going to bring you to the homepage. It'll just bring his users right into here. So they're going from here into the sign-in page, skipping all the other stuff. But that's really what you're doing. A bit like a canvas, like art. Everything you get every month, you get to reposition into a new type of store. Again, it's for free. It's just like a garage sale. Anything you buy, you can resell. But I would say, have you ever done a website on Go High Level, like getting it connected?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I'm going to send you this link in this chat. Just put this down. This is the steps to get the thing white labeled, and theoretically you can stop right here. But if you wanted to put the rest together and put your payment processor in, it's just a funnel. That's very straightforward. That's just asking you questions about what you want your website to say. So I just sent you that link. But being you don't have Go High Level set up, I mean, we can do this slow, right? Not slow, but it's in more digestible chunks right now, where if you just get the domain turned on, then we can do the next step. Frankly, if you get the domain turned on and you get your Stripe set up, I do the rest of the work for you, right? Like I'll put, if you have a debt, like you want home security, we'll put a home security lead app and Go High Level for you. Like you saw in that meeting, because ideally we need to get someone in every industry, because our plan is to rebuild kind of like clay inside of Go High Level through putting all these different database apps. There's another app that we have that actually connects all of these apps together. That lets people database to database. Yeah. So see, we just got a lot of these are pending because I have to put my brain together and do it. Oh, this is the white label better business leads. We'll do this for no, we're not charging anyone to do this right now, just because it helps us getting you distributed. So like, see, he didn't do shit on his website, right? He just has this page redirect. Investors don't care how much money we're making. They care how much money who's using the system are making, which is a good thing, because that's not how Silicon Valley ever gave a shit traditionally. And they finally started realizing that businesses are only viable if people make money.
So how would I get the domain active? I have to first get the high level account.
No, you don't need high level at all for this. So I sent you do you see that link in the chat? Just make sure you have that bookmark somewhere in the Google Meets chat.
Why am I not seeing the chat at all? Let me see.
A little chat button next to the people that says number 3.
Okay, I got it. Let me copy it real quick.
Yeah, because I mean, people charge money to do this, but it's just copying and pasting a few things.
Let me see. It's actually opening up the whole. I'm trying to copy it, and it's opening things up.
I'm gonna send you a YouTube video, then maybe that won't open up as much.
Oh, it's
And
still
once you,
opening. Is there any way, would
I
you
can
be
send
able to
it.
send it to me on WhatsApp?
Yes, thank you for reminding me about WhatsApp. That's why I like WhatsApp, because
I love
and I,
WhatsApp.
although they mine all your data and know everything about you, but you know what? You must know it all too. So who really cares?
Wisdom, you still in here? What you missed, so that database where he had more home security leads for us, I mean home security contacts for us, he did upload it because it was available. It's just that we weren't able to see it yet. He just assigned that to us. He's showing us how to now get the account white labeled. Once we get it white labeled, we'll have a little bit more functionalities. And what about the general homeowners list of Louisiana? We haven't gotten to that yet.
Homeowner database.
We want to have a general homeowner database for Louisiana. Once we're done with the intent leads for that month, we want to be able to just enter a database of homeowners that are just homeowners that maybe weren't even interested in home security, but we still want to reach out to them anyway if they own a home.
As I added business professionals, that wasn't there. Business professionals, all these people are homeowners on top of having a LinkedIn for the most part. I basically, if you can't find what you're looking for, this should be your go-to. Just like what you were saying, homeowners. So in Louisiana alone, there's 515,000 people, and then if we go to the homeowner switch, we have 343,000 homeowners in Louisiana in total.
Whenever you turn on the phone number switch, what does it do? Like the skip trace.
All these have mobile, but let's see how many have skip trace. It's probably gonna be like 50% more skip trace than not. Yeah, about 50%. 166,000 homeowners with skip trace cell phones.
Okay, that's pretty
So
good.
she told me
Yes,
she only sold 5,000. I'm not sure she did it right.
no, I wasn't in the right place. I didn't go to the business professionals tab. I went to the little HO button. It
Yeah,
says homeowners. It's yeah,
this would
there.
be like the first one to use. Then this is the first one we ever built, right? I put these together, tax assessment, skip tracing, and obviously Louisiana had really bad records for the public records, so that's why Louisiana wasn't really in here. Yeah, Louisiana's not on this one, so the business professional has it because all of it is like different methods of how the data was accumulated, right? There's just a different starting point for each of this. So originally on the homeowners, we would use the starting point of the tax assessments. The issue is the tax assessments are very difficult to use in Louisiana, at least in terms of the database. So this was just an alternative way of finding homeowners, and that's why they're in this database instead.
What I did do was the ones that I downloaded from that HO portion, when I started to call them, what I realized is that there were a bunch of numbers that were saying, hey, we're businesses, we're businesses, we're business, like we're a business, we're a commercial business. So they weren't trying to hear that I'm trying to speak to the homeowner of XX property. They're like,
Because,
no, we're a business.
because a lot of these homeowners actually, we skip trace to their business cell phone. Because obviously people wanted the cell phones of business. So remember how I said all the databases connect? So this is all cell phones directly to the business owners listed on the Secretary of State. And then if we saw a homeowner record that listed them as the homeowner, then it connected the two records. So like if we saw this person in a business and they had a business or they had a home address in the business of this and it matches, it would connect the two. I wouldn't reach out asking if they're homeowners, right? I would just, address them by their first name, quite frankly. That's just what I found worked a little bit best for me. But Louisiana, I would say people are nicer compared to Florida or.
Well, so if I'm looking for the homeowner, specifically the person, I want to speak to them. How am I searching?
How would you search? You're looking for the homeowner specifically?
Yeah.
The same way you're doing, just you were calling the skip trace wireless, right? Not the landline?
Yeah, the skip trace wireless. So I'm going to businesses or homeowner tab.
So if you're so in the example we were doing before, you were just telling me that they were saying they're business owners. So that's why I was catching up with that. But stick with the business professionals because this is the most
Okay.
updated with the homeowners.
Okay. And the skip trace number is going to give me the person's personal number versus their company number.
And well, it is all. The thing is, it's all skip trace to cell phone. So if you're calling a plumber, they may have one cell phone. It's also a business number tied to the one cell phone, but it's their personal too. But this you'll have less of those because this was never skip trace from business owners to people. It was skip traced LinkedIn title. We found them on LinkedIn first and we reversed it backwards. So it's a different formula. But I haven't had anyone tell me they were businesses on the homeowner stuff. That's a new one.
Yeah, I had quite a few of them that I spoke with yesterday. I did like an hour of calls, and on call tools it can get through like 1,000 or like almost 1,000 people in an hour, and the majority of people I spoke to, when they pick up, they say this is a commercial business, this is a law firm, this is a this is a that.
So you didn't pull homeowner, I'm seeing. You pulled B2C if this is what you were, was it the most recent two lists?
Yeah.
So these were B2C. These weren't tied to homeowners. So this is just like the original source data that we know goes to a person, but then it's not tied to homeowner stuff. So that's the reason why yeah, because Louisiana for B2C, there's stuff in there. But if you were going to let a homeowner state in Louisiana, there isn't results in Louisiana for homeowners. That answers at least some of my question, because there was no formula to tie those numbers to a person yet, So you filtered the wrong one, but we'll go do this one again for professionals, and we'll do skip trace again. Yeah, and a lot of people like the business numbers too, because they think they're not breaking any rules calling a business phone number. Everyone has their own little. You're having that issue with the home security with people would answer the phone. Were they telling you they were businesses?
The home security intent?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I haven't had that issue yet
Yeah, because I mean
with
the
the
process.
intent leads. But for me, downloading them, it was a learning curve because you still have to like unzip them, right? And then after you unzip the file, you need to now upload the file. And then call tools will give me some type of error sometimes. So I ended up downloading these lists so many times because, I had to kind of learn how to streamline the process.
No, definitely. Well, you should have two emails right now, and then a third should be coming, and that's all homeowners. There's 12,000 there, homeowners in Louisiana. But yeah, that business thing that would fix that whole issue 100%. That definitely was the problem.
How many homeowners do we have in Louisiana?
I'm sorry, what was that?
He wanted to know how many homeowners do we have in Louisiana in the database?
Under
Which you did just show us that, but can you show us again because he wasn't in?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back from the beginning. So skip trace, we'll remove the skip trace one. So when we just look at homeowner records in Louisiana, there's 515,000 individuals. But then being you guys are doing the calling, if we flip skip trace, we end up with about 200,000 or 198,000. So the 198,000 homeowners in Louisiana that have a skip trace wireless cell phone.
When we're selling data, could we also sell data from the homeowner database?
You get access for the $4.99. You get all of the business here, like the traditional databases, right? These you get unlimited of to use and resell. And then the custom databases, you get these. I mean, you have all of them right now, so you can resell any of these. But everyone gets access to these. These are not like exclusive per se. This is custom databases. But at the end of the day, all these numbers, for the most part, enrich to people here. So it's all. I mean, everyone only has one phone number. Let's say it's not multiple, but it's just how did they get in the pile, which might be a little different.
So we talked about a homeowner database. I'm trying to make sure I didn't have any more questions. Oh yes. So what are the first few steps I need to do to get us white labeled, just so I can kind of get started?
The link I sent you is the absolute first thing you have to do, because if you try to go anywhere else, it's going to tell you need a white label first. So white label is just put a domain in, description on GoDaddy, or there's something called a DNS, and it's in the video. It's just flipping two switches. It's really not complicated. I mean, if you're able to figure out database stuff with those videos and ChatGPT, it's just copying the letter A, then copying the number and hitting save in GoDaddy. And there's obviously some instructions about why you're doing that, but
okay. And we can't use our website address as a domain.
you can go into where is it hosted? GoDaddy?
No, it's hosted through goodness. Can you help me out here? What is the website hosted through again?
X10 hosting.
What is it?
X10 hosting.
X10 hosting? Okay, I wouldn't have known that. I thought it was something else.
And we don't want to use this because these companies, it's free, right? But then they put like 100 different tracking pixels on your website, which slows it down because they sell the data of who goes to your website. Yeah, I would just start from scratch. I mean, not start from scratch, right? I mean, it's not like there's much to do.
Just get another purchase another domain on GoDaddy.
I would do one potentially of something you're doing, like home security, because there's a few things we can do with the domain, right? That we just started an app for ourselves where we can index all the companies in a particular industry in a particular state. So if anyone looks up, home security companies near me, it'll pull up a domain or that domain of the security company on the website. So I would, bearing in mind you're probably going to want to do all those things as time goes on if this is successful. And I would just go with home security install, right? This probably isn't it's not even taken $12, right? And in the future, what are we going to do with this? Well, if you keep growing, we can end up making that directory I was telling. So I made one yesterday for lawyers. And right now we rank for all these words of lawyers. So if people look these lawyers up, and we're number 4 on Google if you look this name up. And why is that important? Because, well, if people start looking for businesses in an area, well, they click this button, they click call now, and now you just got an appointment for someone in a different city. Obviously,
Mm.
not saying you're calling this person, you're calling an alternative available attorney or available home security company. So this is just something we just started doing because it was been in my mind for almost 6 months. We started as a side project. I actually really like this domain right here, quite honestly. That's a pretty good one. Or let's see, home security. Get rid of install. Okay. So I was trying to sell home security for 600,000. Home security man, home security guy. Like there's a lot.
Security leads.
You have someone that's looking home security near me. They find this. Now this is a book an appointment page. So yeah, you might also want homesecurityleads.com as well, because now you transfer this lead to the people in the lead website. You can do
So you're making like a
two-sided
system where the person will come in and now enter in their information and they become a lead.
Exactly. And the business model I've been thinking about this is, well, there's 50 states, sell each group of website pages to one person, and it's a lease. So if anyone lands on anyone in Florida for 365 days, they get that appointment or lead. And because technically it's real estate. Like when you get a domain from GoDaddy, their balance sheet shows lease income. They're leasing it to you, literally. So you can sublease the domain. So if there's a group of people in Massachusetts that want all the lawyers in Massachusetts from us, well, now there's the ability to collect all those leads. And this is just stuff I've taught myself, right? Like this is my own SEO stuff for data to leads. And that's why I got so good at it. But this is just my experience for this one. And then the car accident attorney, this just got turned on yesterday. Just got turned on yesterday, and 1,600 people came across it for all these different attorney names. So now imagine you have every single home security company in one system. And I'm not selling you this now. I'm just saying in terms of mentally, where could you go? These are all the places to go. And then you see, like, all right, we want to find everything. It's all indexed by state. So California, North Carolina. And as time goes on and you sell more of the states, hey, I'm going to break it down to Tampa now because there's such a high demand for Florida. Now I can break it down by city. And now you're creating, a two-sided marketplace. That's the word you just want to bear in mind because it's, and you're ahead of the game with TCPA. Like before they overruled, they threw out the thing for TCPA a month ago. This was my whole game plan to fight TCPA in the longer term because if you're generating inbound authentic leads, you're not doing outbound at that point.
So this is a way to set up a lead gen for home security, right?
Exactly. You would become like the Angie's list for lead security. At least that's our idea with this model is to become self-equivalent software to go off and generate leads authentically. I mean, that's all Angie's List does. It's a giant directory. When people look up home service near me, roofer near me.
So this is something we can do through this system, or is this is something you're planning to do?
Something that we're planning on figuring out how to monetize, but we're doing it for people who have who get a good handle on the business, right? Because all we need to do is build one of them. And right now, you see what we're doing. We're trying to fill the spots of people who dominate an industry and provide them, the software and the tools very inexpensively. For our business model isn't this. Our business model is the data distribution name, right? I mean, we're basically doing this to prove our software works on a bigger type of commerce level, other than just lead generation. This is just the first field we're in, but you see, the first thing that pops up is Angie's.
Yeah.
The idea is to compete with some of these companies because
See, I
Okay.
I very much I've already decided that I have a plan to do a lead generation site for home security. Now, and there's not much competition in that space. The issue is I'm not too sure of how to go about it, right?
So that's just how I'm going about it, and this is the same way you should. Like if you run into a home security company in Georgia and they're willing to pay you, let's say $2,500 a month, now you're able to sell the state of Georgia for $30,000 for a year. I would break it up by state. So like try to figure out who would want the whole state for a year.
Mm-hmm.
For 5,000 for the year, but not that much. I mean, the value that we're learning right now, right? As we sell this ourselves, we're going to create these plans to guides to further do it out. But there's a lot of people with a lot of money that need a solution, and there is no solution their money can typically buy to get more leads other than pay a guy on Facebook or Google, and it's 50-50. This is tangible. You get to show them, like, yo, I'm number 4 on Google for this attorney that's looked up 20 times a week. If this attorney in Boston, if people don't like them, there's 19 other attorneys referred on the same link that they can click into. Oh, wow, this guy's looked up 800 times a month. But you see this, it's the difficulty score, 0. That's why, because no one is trying to rank for Lindsay Camplin. But someone in Nebraska might get referred to Lindsay and she looks it up. And then she lands on this page and there's some other alternative lawyers, but all those are opportunities to generate appointments. Ideally, the whole idea with this was you can't sell leads anymore because that was the one-to-one consent thing. But if someone books an appointment, that is not a lead, like in every sense of the definition, a lead is I'm interested, call me. An appointment is I'm on your calendar, you're meeting. So I was under the assumption that, or operating under the assumption in theory that selling appointments is fundamentally different than selling the lead. But then the TCPA thing got thrown out. So now it's like 2022 again. So none of this is really a worry, probably for the next 4 years, 2 years, by 2025. No, it is 2025, 2026. I mean, people try to do something about it, but we're trying to be loud. We're trying to break things. Like we put everyone's information online and we make it really easy for someone to pay us to put it online. That the business isn't putting the information online, having your information online. It's to give anyone the ability to do it, like Apollo. Because that's the next thing we're going to do is all those 3 million businesses that took a loan. We have b2bdatabase.com. So I'm going to use this domain did I renew this domain? Yes, I did. So I'm going to use this domain to be the directory for all the businesses. So if people are looking for different businesses or looking for instance, contact information to a business, they land on business.b2bdatabase.com. And if they want to buy the info, they can just pay for it right here.
Okay.
What other questions right now? Well, go back a sec. So first things first, we have to get the domain on, and that opens the door for all of us.
You said external hosting is not good, even though I got the premium version, not the free version.
What was that? I'm sorry.
He said it's
external hosting is not good,
even though he has the premium version and not the free version.
Well, I'm missing what the question was at first.
X10 hosting. He was asking if you believe that X10 hosting is not good, even though he has the premium version versus the free version.
Here's the thing, right? The smaller the company, the less insights people know about. And the reason this whole Shade 256 thing works is because there's companies like that are paid by companies to install a TXT file on your website, which is that pixel thing. So I don't think it has anything to do with paying them, quite honestly. It's more so, do you want Apple handling your data or do you want some random small company having all your data? It's kind of the same thing. I just personally like GoDaddy. You can use anyone you want. That's just my personal preference. Or Cloudflare. Cloudflare is free, actually. Look into Cloudflare. It's free. But Cloudflare's business model isn't on hosting. It's providing cybersecurity to enterprise companies. So they provide the domains free because they make so much money. Like how Amazon loses money on their store because they make so much money on cloud hosting. It's kind of the same thing. They found where they can do it with. They have a different profit model. And that's the only reason I would say I would go with bigger companies that might have more to lose than a smaller company.
Okay.
That's also my paranoia. So that's coming from a place there as well.
We used to have bought it from Google, but Google switched over. I think Google switched to GoDaddy because they don't do domains anymore. I forgot who Google switched.
So exactly, some companies figured out the best way to do it, and they sold off the work to the companies that do it better. So now you're exactly where I'm saying, where now there's a supply chain of supplying this service. GoDaddy's at the beginning of that supply chain where you're not going to be resold the domain or, down the chain. But what you're using, it's at least one layer down the chain. Like Wix is one layer down, Squarespace is one layer down because they're actually buying domains from GoDaddy and reselling them. So a lot of these companies actually use GoDaddy to resell you the domain at a higher price. And then, they're repackaging it with some quote unquote special thing, but really they're profiting from putting additional tracking on the website.
You had any more questions, Wisdom?
That's it for me.
All right.
And you're going to have a lot of websites if this is done correctly, right? I mean, you're not just going to have one. I mean, we can use one to get it turned online, and you're able to set up as many as you want. It's just the 5,000 download speed that you're capped at. And just like that, you say our business model is all unlimited. It's just that download speed, because that's where we found our costs are coming. But yeah, you're going to probably make a lot of them as time goes on, just because you might want to make a specific one just for Louisiana homeowner security, and you have that. If you want to make a database of just homeowners Louisiana and index all that as a separate thing. Basically, any row of data that's in the system can be turned into a page like you saw before.
Right.
Any other questions right now?
Have you ever considered doing a class, like teaching a class on SEO marketing?
Not yet. I mean, I'm not sure entirely how to, because it's like, all right, you have to make money off of it somehow. And people, I mean, I'll train you because, it's people who are in our circle. And like, if I get you in a Go High Level app and, there's more of me invested in you, then yeah, I mean, I'm already going to teach you. That's kind of what this is, the beginning steps of it. Because again, this only works if you know how three things work, which is the sales part, the lead generation part, and the whole data business part. So we're here just to make sure some of that gets easier, because that's the only way we'll succeed with what we're doing.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'll get those first few steps started, and then I'll book another meeting with you once it's done. I will be getting Go High Level activated again here soon. Simply because I do want to get started with the email portion, because we do have a lot of emails. We have more emails than we have phone numbers. So I do want to get started with getting that email sequence together.
Okay, definitely. So I'll help you with that next. And actually that ties into the SEO, because the formula I do is I record a video, upload it, take the transcript, it makes a website page, and then I use that transcript to make an email. So all in one. Once we get the Go High Level on, we'll go over that, because it is the last step, right? You can get everything done in one, move basically.
Okay, perfect.
So we're canceling our Angi membership, and we're just going to double down on AvocaData. That's what I've decided. We're just going to cancel Angi altogether, because I feel like it's redundant, and then we just fall on to AvocaData.
So you were saying cancel Angi's? That's what you were saying?
So for home security, we were using Angi for like home security inbound leads. But what he's saying is, instead of paying Angi, because it's about the same price, right, that we're paying AvocaData. Instead of paying Angi, we're gonna reallocate those funds instead of to Angi. We'll just be continuing our AvocaData membership.
Okay, cool. And yeah, once we get your email thing set up, I mean, we can start experimenting with the directory, right? I mean, we can put a few pages up. I mean, if you're already working with us, because like I said, we need to make you successful. And if you figure out you're good at what you do, Capricious. So I mean, if there's inbound business coming in, a big reason we did it like this is because we need people who can handle like what we're generating ourselves. So no, I appreciate it. And anything you need, just let me know, and you have the calendar, and I can hop on pretty quickly with you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. These one-on-ones are very helpful, toward getting us to understand some things.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm the one who gets it all, so I can't rely on other people to teach people. So how to do the work.
Right. All right. Well, thank you again.
No, you're welcome. You take care, and I'll speak with you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.